Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum. Shit, I'm even in one called Butthole Coin.
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombies. So it's Monday, that's right, back on the grind. Hope you had an awesome weekend. If we have a look at what is going on, it is a beautiful, beautiful Monday, green across the board. I will take it. Also, just in case you are a first-time viewer, today is Monday, which means we are giving away the Ledger Nano S at the end of the video. We do this every single week, and all you got to do is just comment below, and we do that every single Monday. So yeah, if you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? I do this every single day. So having a look at the markets, actually, I'm going to give it a quick refresh live. Hey, not really anything different since I woke up. But, you know, obviously volume has pulled back a little bit since we had that massive spike. But you can see here, there is a lot of green across the board. Very, very minimal projects in the red today. You know, if you're in the red, you're probably only down maybe like 0.0 something percent, right? Really not a bad day overall. If we look at the biggest gainers on the front, we have Insight Chain, Knowles, Maximine again, Lambda, Bitcoin Cash, Holo, Maker, Zilliqa, and Aurora all doing quite well today. Now, having a look at our good old buddy Bitcoin, actually, we are maintaining now above this $5,113 level. This is really good. We've been supported by this kind of like trend we've been forming. Every time, you know, we touch it, we kind of spring back up. So, I mean, yes, volume has dropped off very, very low. So that's always a little bit of a concern, right? This is over on Coinbase, however, but I do want to say, guys, I do remain bullish on Bitcoin, just to let you guys know. I mean, that's not to say that we couldn't have a little bit of a dip, you know, down to the $44,700, $4,800 mark. But yeah, I mean, you guys pretty much know my stance on it. Also, the other thing I wanted to point out too is the super guppy on the 4 hour on Bitstamp actually switched back over to green. It was in neutral. Now it's back positive. So that's pretty good news as well. And also, you know, just zooming out real quick, we spoke about this yesterday. We are anticipating a potential golden cross between the 50 and the 200-day moving averages. So, you know, I don't know when it'll happen. It may happen sometime, you know, at the end of this month but yeah, we're definitely looking forward to that. And then, of course, guys, next month is the year leading up to the halvening. So I've been calling this on the channel pretty much since, I would probably say since like the beginning of the year. So definitely getting excited, definitely getting pumped. Don't go throwing all your money into crypto, but at the same time, you know, looking back at what's been happening, you know, people saying we need to have this massive sell-off. Well, you know, when I had that conversation with Crown, when he was on the channel a few weeks ago, we were talking about whether or not the institutions themselves are kind of now buying not over-the-counter, buying on exchanges to sort of prop the price up. A little bit of a conspiracy, right? Because they've been clearly accumulating all back here. I mean, pretty much if you bought Bitcoin, you know, really anywhere down in this region since January, I mean, you are good, you are golden. So the fact that this hasn't dumped harder kind of shows me that sellers are exhausted. Just something to point out, guys, just something to point out. And yeah, now I wanted to get straight into this. Usually I kind of like keep you guys in suspense until the big story, but I just had to bring this up early in the video. So we had Binance Research, right? And they had this paper that came out. This was actually April 11th. I know I didn't really have a chance to look into it, but now that I've checked it out, you guys could see they have some key takeaways right here. They go into a whole bunch of different statistics, okay? You guys can definitely look at this. It's a lot to go into. It would probably take the whole video to just go over this. I will drop that below. But look at some of the key highlights that they pointed at the top. And this is what I wanted to tell you guys. This is the first thing that just blew my mind. All right, right here. An estimated 7% of the crypto assets are held by institutional investors, which is almost 1/13 of the institutional holdings proportion for the US stock market. Before we even go on any farther, I want to just stress to you guys, 7% is estimated to be held by institutional investors. Who's holding the other 93%? You have to ask yourself that question, guys. And when you look at how unbelievably low this is, you have to realize that the average retail investor like you and I, we haven't had an opportunity like this ever. This is the first time that I can think of in my life that I've seen an opportunity to get involved in something so early before all the other big players and the monopolies and everybody else just grabs a hold of it, right? So I just wanted to point that out. And if you're watching this video right now, just think about how early you are and how fortunate and lucky you are to have found this opportunity, man. I mean, I'm just getting excited just thinking about it. So, yeah. Okay, now let's talk about some of the other things. That's what was crazy. And yeah, I mean, I was surprised to find out that only 7%. I thought it would have been more than that by now, personally. So really, really cool to find that out. Higher turnover rates for crypto assets as well. Okay, 5 times higher than that of the US stock market indicates that participants in crypto asset industry could be more active or reactionary than in traditional markets. And also, having emerged from a period of the highest internal correlations in crypto history, the data may support the notion that the crypto market has already bottomed out. Actually, there was one thing I wanted to scroll down here and show you guys. Yeah, the annual turnover rate comparison. Look at this. I mean, well, I mean, I don't know. If you want to play it safe, I don't own any stocks. I'm not into the stock market. I probably never will own any stocks. Personally, that's just me. But yeah, when you look at the annual turnover rate for cryptos, I mean, it's no comparison here. Like, why would you? I don't know. Do what you want. If you're a traditional investor, that's your thing. Definitely not my thing. Definitely not my thing. And I wanted to also zoom in a little bit and talk about this correlation between the smooth market cap of Bitcoin and altcoins. Now, this doesn't include stable coins, but also according to the report, the crypto market's frequent periods of extreme correlation are inseparable from the market's highly retail-driven participation. Okay? Sort of getting back to what I was trying to say before. So what does this mean? Well, Binance essentially found a correlation between growth in the price of Bitcoin and corrections in altcoin prices and vice versa. So data showed that whenever correlations between these guys reached a specific positive upper bound of like 0.8 to 1, okay, the trend of Bitcoin against USD tends to reverse or at least halts the previous price action. But I wanted to talk about this podcast that came out, and the Winklevoss twins were a part of it, and this was in Bloomberg, and obviously it's an hour long, so once again, we can't play the whole thing, but some of the real key takeaways over here is that they are saying that they think there's going to be another massive wave coming. They think it's going to be incredibly, just way bigger than the last one. I mean, guys, like if you think the 2017 bull run was massive, just wait, okay? One of the things that they said when they were watching the 2017 bull market, they said to themselves like, okay, we've seen this movie before, right? But they said that each time the excitement gets ahead of itself, it essentially pulls back. So they said that what you need to do is stop looking at the 52-week highs and start looking at the 52-week lows, and you'll realize that we are actually stepping in the right direction, okay? Because we are putting in, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. So that is just something that you need to look at over the grand scheme. They also talk about, institutions coming in like Fidelity and things like that, and they do say that they believe that Bitcoin will be worth more than the overall market cap of gold. Therefore, if you believe that, you realize that gold's market cap is, I don't know what it is off the top of my head right now. I don't know, 6.4 trillion maybe, could be. It was 7.2 at one point. I really don't pay any attention. But long story short, if Bitcoin was to, let's just say 6 trillion just for argument's sake, you would have well over $100,000 for one Bitcoin. I think you'd be upwards to almost 300K per Bitcoin, roughly. Very rough math, but it will be incredible moving forward. Now, another thing that came out was this interview with Luke Martin over at Venture Coinist with Arthur Hayes. Now, he's the CEO of BitMEX. There was actually some really good news that came out of this. So obviously he's still holding strong on his $50,000 Bitcoin prediction, okay? But I wanted to talk about what he said. He said he wanted to create a future where the highest quality exchanges and miners issue short-term Bitcoin bonds to the ecosystem. So you might not realize the significance of this, but he says that hopefully by summer of this year, you'll be able to use Bitcoin and purchase the S&P 500 and NASDAQ QQQ indices, and essentially, you won't have Bitcoin USD risk. You'll send Bitcoin, they'll fix it into dollars and allow you to buy a swap, and when you want to leave, you'll sell the swap, get back the dollars, and then you can buy back into Bitcoin should you choose, right? Now, he was saying that Bitcoin prices could materially go higher if the world plays out the way that he thinks it's going to play out, and in that case, he obviously said he can easily see Bitcoin 10xing, in the relatively short couple of years up and coming, right? And then that would hold his, $50,000 price prediction, right? Now, shifting to this over here. So I wanted to talk about the newest member of PayPal's board of directors, right? So this is Wences Cesares is his name. He's also the CEO over at Xapo. He's saying that Bitcoin could cross $1 million in the next 7 to 10 years, okay? And he explains this because he says that Bitcoin's odds of succeeding and remaining the leading cryptocurrency are above 50%. He says, in my opinion, the chances of Bitcoin failing are at least 20%, but after 10 years of working well without interruption, with more than 60 million holders, adding more than 1 million new holders per month, and moving more than 1 billion per day, has a pretty good chance of succeeding. He says those chances of succeeding are at least 50% if Bitcoin does succeed. He says one Bitcoin may be worth more than $1 million in 7 to 10 years. So that is 250 times what it's worth today. So he goes on to say that yes, he does think we're going to have a strong returns in Bitcoin. Therefore, he says that every portfolio should allocate at least 1% of their portfolio to holding Bitcoin, which is actually hilarious when you think about that, because 1% is so small. I ask you guys, how much of your portfolio is in Bitcoin? And it's like, 30%, 70% in altcoins. Well, these guys are talking about just 1% of a traditional portfolio being in crypto. And if I told you how much Bitcoin I have, most people would think I was insane, because I got like way more Bitcoin than I do dollars. My dollars it's silly, my bank account, right? But anyway, he uses the example of, I suggest that, let's say, a $10 million portfolio should invest $100,000 in Bitcoin, up to 1%, but not more, as the risk of losing this investment is high. I guess if you have $10 million, that is pretty risky. But he says, if Bitcoin succeeds in the next 7 to 10 years, that $100,000 could be worth more than 25 million, which would be twice the entire size of the portfolio that you initially started with, right? So I just wanted to point that out. But if you guys want some more bullish news, I got literally probably the most bullish post I've ever seen. And this is from Moon Capital. I'm just putting this in here just for fun, guys. But this thread will explain why Bitcoin will become the first world currency worth, are you ready for this, guys? $98 million per Bitcoin. I know. We've officially seen it all. I don't think any prediction is going to ever top this one. Now, I'm not going to go into this. It's a very, very long tweet storm. Yeah, very, 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 very long. But I did highlight a few things in here that I thought was cool. Not really relating to the fact that we could potentially see a $98 million Bitcoin. You can have fun reading about that. But he kind of broke down bull and bear cycles. And sometimes I think that people overcomplicate it. I really think people overcomplicate markets sometimes. It's pretty simple. I mean, even TA, it's going to go up, it's going to go down, might go sideways. There's really not many other options, right? So bull cycles begin by someone speculates that Bitcoin will be worth more in the future. This takes Bitcoin off the market and drives up the price. The price goes up, which attracts more speculators. It's pretty simple, guys. What drove people to become so driven last time? Price, right? Price goes up. Actually, it was funny because my dad called me the other day. He's like, hey, did you see Bitcoin went up? People hear about the prices going up. They hear about it. And unfortunately, most people don't buy until it's too late or until they really missed out on those good chances for gains. Everybody was so scared of buying when Bitcoin was like 3,000 and then it was 4,000. Well, now it's over 5. So, it could go down again, but it's probably not going to go down to 3,100. I personally think that level's gone forever. So, dollar cost average, not financial advice. Contrary, bear market cycles begin by somebody deciding to sell Bitcoin. Bitcoin miners selling Bitcoin to pay for electricity, price falls, which scares away buyers and brings more sellers. Well, this goes back to basically what I was saying before. Where are the sellers? Because we're not having any massive sell-offs, right? And then he says, these above reasons are what contribute to Bitcoin's extreme boom and bust cycles. Bitcoin is pro-cyclical. People buy tops and sell bottoms. The interesting thing about Bitcoin, which is unfortunate, is that while these cycles exist, the price is still clearly on a massive upward trajectory, right? Now, you do have some naysayers. Crypto Dog, he's sitting on the sidelines. He says he could be wrong, but he thinks we're going much, much, much lower. But hey, man, listen, you got to do what you got to do for yourself. And to be completely honest with you guys, you shouldn't be listening to a guy on YouTube anyway, for advice, I appreciate everybody that watches these videos, guys. I love you guys, seriously. I love getting up and doing this every single day. But, don't ever listen to anyone on YouTube, on Twitter, or anything. Always make your own decisions, always do your own due diligence, and always protect your investments first. Somebody says buy a coin, that coin starts going down, sell. get out of it, man. You know, you don't need to lose money. That is your money. So not financial advice, but just letting you guys know. Now, I want to talk about a crazy, crazy situation. We've talked about this a lot. It's not really new, but it still could be a problem. And I want to bring it up because it could potentially have a negative effect on the crypto markets. A lot of you are familiar with this. There are a lot of new people to crypto. You may not know about this. So this guy on Bitfinex, if you don't know, Tether is once again injecting the cryptocurrency markets with nearly 400 million of fake money, well, as he puts it. But that's a funny thing. They say Tether, you know, Tether isn't really backed by dollars. What are dollars backed by? Dollars aren't backed by, it's not backed by gold anymore. We got off that standard, right? So dollars aren't backed by anything, and Tether's not backed by dollars. So it's kind of funny making this argument anyway. But the last time they ejected this much fake money, we found out about CFTC subpoenas and the market crashed. In fact, some people are saying that that's why the market pumped so much back in the bull run, right? Essentially, they print these fake tokens that aren't backed by anything, right? So you get a Tether. And then you take that Tether and you go onto the market and actually buy Bitcoin with it. And you buy it on the exchange and you buy it for spot value, which means you're pushing the prices up, right? Manipulation. That was such a big topic last year, guys. And as you can see, I pointed this out in my video the other day when I was talking about fresh money coming in, brand new money coming in. And as you can see right here, Tether, this is just 1 week, by the way. This is just 1 week. Look, 1 week ago, Tether's market cap was sorry guys, I read the wrong thing here. It was 2.1 billion, and now we are currently up to 2.4 billion. Okay, so that's all fresh money coming in, right? Now, getting back to this over here, you can see that according to research that was conducted by University of Texas professor John Griffith and co-author Amin Shams, there is evidence that Tether is engaging in Bitcoin price manipulation yet again. First, Tethers are created by the parent company, often in large chunks like 200 million. Almost all new coins then move to Bitfinex. When Bitcoin price drops soon after the issuance, Tethers at Bitfinex and other exchanges are used to buy Bitcoin in a coordinated way that drives the price. Pretty much what I just said. This coincides with Tether's recent change to its terms of service, which we talked about, which they basically blatantly say that USDT is backed by other assets and that the company is, are you guys ready for this? Not responsible for losses endured by holders. Okay, so now we all know what we're dealing with here. In fact, if you guys haven't watched my video about the Black Swan event that could potentially be detrimental to the crypto space, you guys should definitely check that out if you're new. But that's a situation that we're still worried about. Personally, do I use Tether? Yeah, I do. I know, right? I'm a terrible example. I use it as a tool. You know, just to hedge or just to move. But to be honest with you, recently I've just started using USDC a lot more because it's been gaining a lot more liquidity. So I guess it's a matter of liquidity and where the market's going. But, you know, in the end, guys, I wouldn't sit in Tether. Personally, I would not sit in Tether. But at the same time, you know, saying Tether's not backed by anything isn't really saying anything. The dollar's not really backed by anything. So take that for what it is, guys. So we also have Peter McCormick's formal response to Craig Wright and Calvin Ayre. I'm not going to go into it. You guys can read it. It's kind of funny here. You know, he goes in to talk about, you know, me, the king of Bedford, Grammy nominee, dolphin trainer, Instagram influencer, giraffe tech titan, Lord of the Dance. That's directly from his profile. He goes on to say, this is definitely not, in my opinion, Satoshi's vision. It's kind of a funny response. You guys can check it out here. But everybody's favorite is right here where he signs, yours sincerely, Peter McCormick, age 40. So there you go. Also, I found out that there's this website called stopcraigwright.com. And right here, you can see there's a section called evidence, and they've compiled. So, you know, like how Bitcoin obituaries has like all the times people said that Bitcoin died? Well, in this, they have all the times that Craig Wright was proven wrong or lied or something. So you can see right here, he edited old blog posts, fake PGP keys, forged contract emails, plagiarized papers. Yeah, I mean, there's just so much evidence, it's ridiculous. So if you guys want to check that out. Well, guys, as I was uploading my video, I had to insert this into it because as I was going to upload the video, you could see right here, 31 minutes ago, Binance will delist Bitcoin SV. You can't say you weren't warned. So, wow, this is pretty incredible. I mean, CZ definitely said, if you don't cut it out, we're going to delist you. I want to know your thoughts on this, guys. I mean, do you think this is just totally screwed up? This is like what's wrong with crypto? This is just too much power, too much centralization? Or do you think at this point, these guys definitely deserved it? Personally, I think the way that Craig Wright has been acting lately has been absolutely insane. He is clearly not Satoshi Nakamoto. Regardless of, what the guy may have done in the past, he may be a very well-respected this and that and whatever, but he's definitely not Satoshi Nakamoto, okay? So, guys, I retweeted this on my Twitter over here. CZ said, do the right thing. Yeah, do the right thing. So there you guys go. I guess we'll get back to the regular video. So this is basically Transaction Highway. Now this is just for Bitcoin Cash. It's not for Bitcoin SV, but I wanted to show you guys. The reason it was showing you what it was showing you before is because I had this page and it was like loading in the back. So essentially what you're seeing in the bottom is Bitcoin. And they're saying that Bitcoin is basically a one-lane highway and it can't do any transactions. Bitcoin Cash, you can see right here, you have all the different blocks going from 1 megabyte all the way up to 32 megabyte. And they're showing you how much faster Bitcoin Cash is over Bitcoin Core, or as they put it, right? The Bitcoin that we're familiar with. But the funny thing is I feel like even though this is supposed to be a pro-Bitcoin Cash website, it's not really doing justice because as you can see, yes, there's a lot of lanes available in Bitcoin Cash, but nobody's using it. Look at everyone that's using Bitcoin right now. And look at everyone that's using Bitcoin Cash. So just kind of pointed it out, guys. I know it's not Bitcoin SV, but kind of wanted to just segue for that as well. Now, also, guys, adoption is coming from LTO Network, Game of Nodes, okay? So basically what they're doing is they're having a competition to basically set up your own LTO mainnet node and educate communities on LTO. So they have some prizes in here. First place prize is 50, I think it's 50,000 LTO, 35,000 second place, 25,000 third place, and a whole bunch of other things as well. So if you guys are interested in that, you could definitely check that out. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it. Why not, right? Maybe I'll give it a shot. So also we have the long-awaited EOS user agreement was signed by 21 of the network's 30 block producers following months of negotiation and debate following, first of all, we know there was a lot that was going on with EOS. There was a lot of controversy for a while about it. So essentially the new document replaces the much criticized EOS interim constitution and, basically block producers will continue to hold a dominant role in network governance. If that is something that interests you, also want to talk about Komodoregames. They say we're looking to get 100 testers for Ultra Fighter K4 as a requirement. You do need to have experience with blockchain and be somewhat tech savvy. Not surprised though. This is coming from the good old boys over at Komodo. And before we go, I want to end on some positive news, guys. I could have put this earlier, but I figured, hey, if you stuck around, you earned it. You earned it. You earned some good news. So 94% of endowments, okay, which is crazy, have been allocated crypto fund related investments, guys. So, once again, to say that like no one's investing and no one's interested, I feel like it's beating a dead horse. Anyway, so there was a new survey and they said that out of 150 surveyed endowments, 89% of the respondents were reportedly based in the United States, with the rest either in the United Kingdom or Canada. The survey indicated that despite widely reported concerns around regulation, custody, and liquidity, endowments will continue to allocate investments to the new asset class, with only 7% of respondents saying they anticipated any decrease in their allocations over the next year. They said all the talk over the past 18 months has been around when institutional investors will begin participating. As we just said, apparently only 7% of them are. Well, it turns out they had already, but just in the form of endowment funds. The survey also revealed that 54% of respondents were directly investing in crypto assets, with 46% investing via various kinds of funds. So over the next 12 months, 50% revealed they expect to increase their crypto investments, with 45% anticipating their allocation will remain at the current levels. So as you guys can see here, 94%. Okay, guys, it's getting massive. It's getting massive. And before we go, I just wanted to kind of say something. So we know that we learned from last year that there's a lot of cryptocurrencies. There's over, I don't even know what it is on CoinMarketCap right now. What is it? 2,171 different cryptos, right? So the reality is they are not all going to survive, okay? How blockchain companies market themselves, what users want. We are still in that discovery phase, guys. You know, people calling this a shit coin, that's a shit coin. Okay, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, right? Ethereum was a shit coin at one time. Bitcoin was a shit coin at one time. Some people still call those shit coins, right? But in the end, the market will decide. We will find use cases. We will create mass adoption. And essentially, we will turn this into this, okay? But it's just a matter of which one is it going to be? And are you willing to put in the time to find that? But also, are you willing to stick around during the ups and the downs? And anyone that stuck out through the 2018 bear market, you're a freaking trooper. I love you. And if you stayed through the bear market and you stayed to the end of the video, my goodness, I don't know. I got to give you something. I'll give you a Ledger Nano S next week when you guys comment. Speaking of the Ledger Nano S, we have to actually give that away. So, yeah, I'm rambling here, guys. So we're going to give away the Ledger. We had 8 videos last week because we had our Red Fox interview. So I'm going to go to, so obviously number 1 would be Monday. Number 8 would be yesterday. So we are going to do this 1 through 8. Let's generate 2. Okay. So we have to go 1, 2. So that is from Tuesday's video right here. Let me copy that. Go on over to my random comment generator. Let's see what we got here. 469 unique comments. All right, this is for the Ledger Nano S. Are you ready? Drum roll, please. Guitar stunned in F China. I wonder if you're in it for the Ledger. All right, well, you know what? Guitar, is that how you say your name? I'll tell you what. I can't tell if you want the Ledger or not, but you are the winner. You have 24 hours to claim it. You can either hit me up in my official Telegram group right here, or you can DM me, or you can just send me an email in the About section right here. If you don't claim it by the next video, I am going to be giving it away again. Just letting everybody know, okay? So, that being said, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. For everyone that's been liking... Oh, it just started raining out. It was sunny this morning. Damn it. That kind of bummed me out. Anyway, sorry, side note, guys. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. I really appreciate it, guys. You guys are seriously awesome, and thank you. Just thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. So, that's it. If you guys haven't had a chance to check out the referral links, I do have them for Ledger Nano S's. You can also download the Brave browser for a totally ad-free experience if that's your kind of thing. But I think that's about it for me today, guys. So now that it's an ugly, rainy day out, I don't know. Guess probably going to spend more time just looking at crypto stuff then. That being said, it is Monday, back on the grind. Hope you guys are having a great start to your weekend. And yeah, Bitcoin is still holding above. So we're looking good, guys. Looking good. Feeling kind of bullish. So that being said, my name's K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto and peace out.